So now let us learn how to multiply integers. Consider this. 4 fives are is 20, 3 fives are is 15, 2 fives are is 10, 1 fives are is 5, and 0 fives are is 0. If you let all these numbers are 5, and over here the numbers are decreasing by 1. So 4 becomes 3, 3 becomes 2, 2 becomes 1, 1 becomes 0. And over here the answer decreases by 5. So 20 becomes 15, 15 becomes 10, 10 becomes 5, 5 becomes 0. So if you go further, you'll see that the next number should be 5 less than 0. So it should be negative 5. And then 5 less than negative 5 is negative 10. And then further it should be negative 15. And then negative 20 and so on. So if you look at the answer, negative 1 multiplied by 5 gives us negative 5. Negative 2 multiplied by 5 gives negative 10. And in this way we can understand that 2 fives is 10, but negative and a positive number has a negative answer. Similarly, if you look at this pattern, 6 fours is 24, 6 threes is 18, 6 twos is 12, 6 ones is 6, 6 zeros is 0, and then the numbers further decrease by 1. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4 and so on. And over here the numbers are decreasing by 6 at a time. So the next number should be negative 6. And then the next number should be negative 12. The next number should be negative 18. And the next number should be negative 24. So if you observe, a positive 6 when multiplied with a negative 4 gives a negative answer. So a positive multiplied by negative gives a negative answer. Similarly over here, a negative number when multiplied with a positive answer or positive number gives us a negative answer. So what happens when we multiply two negative numbers? So just now we saw that when a negative number is multiplied with a positive number, we get a negative answer. So negative 2 multiplied with 4 gives us negative 8. Similarly, minus 2 threes gives minus 6. Minus 2 twos gives minus 4. Minus 2 ones gives minus 2. And minus 2 zeros gives a 0. So if you look, we have minus 8 and then we have minus 6. So the number increases by 2. Again the number increases by 2, it becomes minus 4. The number again increases by 2 and becomes negative 2. And then the number increases by 2 again, becomes 0. So the number should increase by 2 again, and the next answer should be 2. Then the next answer should be 4. The next answer should be 6. And the next answer should be 8 if we follow the correct pattern. So over here you can see we have only negative 2's, and over here the numbers are increasing by 1 at a time. Or sorry, decreasing by 1 at a time. So over here you can see that a negative 2 when multiplied with a negative 4 gives a positive answer. So when two negative numbers multiply, we get a positive result. So negative and negative gives us a positive answer. So in order to summarize that while multiplying two integers, first of all you should multiply the integers, multiply the numbers. Do not add or subtract the numbers, just multiply the numbers. And then what to do? Then give the sign of their mergers. For instance, if both the numbers are positive, give a positive sign. Or if both the numbers are negative, again give a positive sign. So same sign, you should give a positive sign. And if the numbers are of the opposite signs, so plus and minus, give a negative sign. But do not subtract, just give a negative sign. You should multiply, but you should give a negative sign. Similarly, if the first number is negative and the second is positive, give a negative sign. So let us do some examples. 12 fours is 48. But since the first number is negative and the second number is positive, we will have a negative answer. So negative 12 multiplied by 4 gives negative 48. Similarly, what is 9 multiplied by negative 7? So 9 sevens is 63. And since the first number is positive and the second is negative, so positive and negative is negative. Opposite signs will have a negative sign. Similarly, what is negative 11 multiplied by negative 10? So just multiply first. 11 tens are 110 and negative is positive. So you can write a plus sign or you can simply ignore the positive sign. So when two numbers are multiplied and both are negative, we have a positive answer. And 6 and 8, so 6 8s is 48. And we know since both the numbers are positive, the answer is going to be positive. And what about this? Negative 3 multiplied by negative 7 multiplied by negative 2. So we can first multiply 3 and 7. 3 7s is 21. And then 21 multiplied by 2 is 42. So we have a 42. But what about the sign? We have minus and minus is plus. So we have minus and minus is plus. And then that plus and minus gives a minus. So we have a negative 42. So again, minus and minus is plus and minus is minus. So when three negative numbers are being multiplied, we have a negative answer. Thanks for watching.